Hey everybody, good morning. It is 7:58. Good to see you. It's your friend James Shaw. Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us on Zoom. We're maxed out. Thanks for watching the live stream inside of the Pivot Shift Ahead Facebook group, or if you're watching the recording, thank you for doing that. We're so glad you're here. Our fifth year of hosting calls inside of the Pivot Shift Ahead Facebook group. We'll celebrate our fifth anniversary in March, and we've been so blessed to meet every single morning for 5 years to talk about how to make sure you're moving in the right direction. We're going to do that today. We've got a special guest coming up in just a minute, Hal Elrod, who wrote The Miracle Morning. It's a bestseller. It's a book many of you are familiar with, and he wanted to jump on today just to pour into us to help us out. But before we do that, I just want to do a couple of quick announcements and a couple of tell me something good. So announcement number one is if you are going to family reunion in Las Vegas in February, we are having a Pivot Shift Ahead networking lunch. I'm dropping the link in both chats right now. If you're an Inspire member, this lunch is free for you. If you're not an Inspire member, you get to pay for lunch, or you can join Inspire and it can be free. So that is in the link in the chat for you. Also, next, we had a fantastic session with Emily Peckham out of Tennessee, Nashville area of Tennessee yesterday. A fantastic session with her on For Sale by Owners. She's listed 150 in her career and is elite at it. And she is teaching her entire system. We did a free session yesterday. She's teaching her entire system next week and the week after. And so I'm putting the link for that in the chat if you want to join us. It'll all be recorded, of course, because it is 2025. So we record everything. It'll be recorded. You'll have lifetime access. You'll get all of her tools. You'll get the scripts she's using, the follow-up system she has. You'll get all that. Link is in the chat for that if you'd like to come hang out with us. So we'd love to see you there. All right, real quick, couple of tell me something goods, and then Hal, you're up. We're going to go Erica, and then we're going to go Darlene, and then we got to get after it. Go ahead, Erica. Good morning.
Good morning, and thanks for the opportunity. Good news is that I just hosted our first business owner breakfast of the year. We had 12 business owners come. They were thrilled to be in the room, and I actually put together a commercial for real estate and a commercial for the second business I created, Best of Bayside, and it inspired others to do the same. And now they want to give back, and it's just awesome. So you inspired me to do this in our community.
Well, I'm so proud of you. Well done. Go ahead, Darlene. Good morning.
Good morning. I have two quick ones. One is when I was in Austin with FSO and a couple other, I did QL and that kind of stuff. And anyway, we were out at a restaurant and the server was just absolutely amazing. And this took about 2 months ago. Anyway, I got a call yesterday that she had my card and she was looking to get into business with real estate. So like she wasn't then, but I said, "You're amazing. You should give this career a start." And she's like, "I thought about it over the holidays, and I don't know if you remember me, but we met, and could you please get me started?" I thought
Oh,
that was
that's
pretty
awesome.
cool, right?
You're going to change her life, which is totally
I know,
amazing.
right?
So, well done,
Now,
Darlene. I'm so proud of you. That
I
is
have
great.
one more real
Yes.
quick one.
Yeah.
I also found out last night at our office meeting that I was invited to attend at family reunion, the Gary Keller Mastermind.
Oh, good for you. That's going to be awesome too. I'm proud of you. Cheers to that.
Thank you.
So enjoy that. We'll see you at family reunion, and hopefully you'll come to the networking lunch and share
I will.
everything you learn at that. Would be great. Let's get after it. Hal, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us and for being here and getting up early. And look at how fancy your hair looks this morning. I wish I could pull
this
that
is
off.
this is a rare do that not everybody gets to see. And I was debating, I'm like, should I gel my hair? I'm like, I'm just gonna show up the way that I woke up. Let's go. I just finished my
I
miracle
love that.
morning, dove straight into the pivot shift call. So I'm excited.
You're so great. Will you just real quickly introduce yourself to everybody, those who might not be familiar with what you do?
Yeah. So my name is Hal Elrod, of course, and my background, I was a Cutco sales rep. I was one of the top sales reps in the history of Cutco from age 19 to 25, and so that set me down a path of overcoming limiting beliefs that I had my whole childhood to realize, wow, every single one of us is capable of anything that we put our mind to, that we commit to follow through with. And at age 20, I was hit head on by a drunk driver in a car accident, found dead at the scene. My heart stopped for 6 minutes. Came out of a coma 6 days later, was told I would never walk again. Took my first step 3 weeks later, had a miraculous recovery, and started speaking on that topic to high schools, colleges, and eventually companies. And then 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with a rare aggressive form of cancer called acute lymphoblastic leukemia. As a father of a 7 and 4-year-old, I was given a 20 to 30% chance of surviving, which is just about the scariest thing you can be told as a dad with two small children.
Yeah.
Defying the logic of doctors, I beat that cancer similar to the car accident. And so I wrote a book called The Miracle Morning and 12 other books along the way. And my mission now is to help all of you, every human being on the planet, to elevate our consciousness so we can show up at our best every day for those we love and those we lead. And James, thank you so much for the leadership that you have here in this community.
Well, thank you for choosing to jump in and pour into them. This is, what we do and what you do align very closely
Totally.
together, right? We're getting up every morning. We have people that are on the West Coast that get up at, 5 o'clock in the morning to be on this call and be able to get their day started in the right way. And so you've got some key pieces. The savers are a big thing, and a lot of people are familiar with them, but could you walk through that so that people kind of understand this way that they can really get their morning started in the most effective way possible?
Yeah, so the Miracle Morning is made up of 6 practices known as, James mentioned, the savers. It's an acronym so you can easily remember and run through them every morning. These are the 6 you could call them the most timeless, proven personal development practices. And it's the first S in savers is for silence. That's your prayer, your meditation, your breath work. It's starting your day by getting grounded, getting centered, calming your nervous system, lowering your cortisol levels, and creating space for you to have clarity and the discipline that you need to follow through with the rest of your Miracle Morning and the rest of your day. The A is for affirmations, and not the goofy kind that you learn from your, the Saturday Night Live skit that said, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Right.
But the affirmations that are rooted in truth, that are based on what you're committed to achieving in every area of your life, reminding yourself why it's a must for you, why it's important for yourself and the people that you love, and specifically affirming which actions you're going to take today and every day to ensure you follow through. The V in savers is visualization, and this isn't about the hokey vision board on the wall. And no offense to those of you that have the vision board behind you on the wall, right? But the idea that you can just cut out pictures, put them on a wall, and that life's magically going to make all your dreams come true is not rooted in most reality. There might be some merit to it, but we're talking about visualizing yourself doing the things today, making the phone calls, getting on the treadmill, like doing the things today, the actionable things that will move you in the direction of the goals that you just affirmed during your Miracle Morning. The E is for exercise. Don't got to go to the gym in the morning, but move your body. The R is for reading a book. This is not a community, I'm sure, that is foreign to reading. You're all into personal development. And the final S is for savers, which is, the final S is for scribing, which is a fancy word for journaling, because the J would have made the acronym awkward at the end. So we have scribing, which is putting your gratitude in writing down your priorities for the day, clarifying those thoughts that are a million miles an hour, clarifying and solidifying them in writing so that you have more mental clarity to take on the day. Those are the savers.
Of course, you've got the book, The Miracle Morning, that people can get, and I'll drop a link in the chat here in a little bit that people can pick up and grab and learn more about. It would be totally great to do that. But and you're not talking about an hour of each of these things. You could sit down 10 minutes on each of these things and just kind of get things moving a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a chapter in the book called the 6-Minute Miracle Morning, which is literally I don't do that on a daily basis, but on the days when I'm pressed for time, I'll do 1 minute of each of the savers. And imagine 1 minute of silence. All right. I'm praying, I'm meditating, I'm calm. 1 minute reading your affirmations. If you go 1 minute of exercise, jumping jacks, right? Within 6 minutes, you can completely transform your level of consciousness from, you might wake up like lethargic and negative and stressed. All of a sudden now you're ready to take on the day. But the average person does a 30-minute to a 60-minute Miracle Morning incorporating all the savers.
Yeah. All right. So let's walk through then, just based on your experience and the people you go visit and talk to and the businesses that you help support, about, at the beginning of the year, we all come in with really big hopes and dreams and really big aspirations, but here we are, the 9th day of the year, and so some of that maybe has fallen off. But yeah, what's your advice to an entrepreneur who wants to succeed in a new year and sees this as an opportunity for a reset?
So obviously that answer could be very convoluted and we can go a lot of different directions. I ran a 4-hour event yesterday, as I mentioned, on just this, how to set yourself up for the year. But if I really look at what's most important, and with most things in success, like in real estate, right? It's, you can do a million different things to try to drum up business, but usually there's a few fundamental daily practices or processes that will, it's the 80-20 rule that get you most of the result. So here's what I believe is the simplest formula. It's using affirmations to solidify your goals in writing, using 3 steps. Number 1, affirm what you're committed to. So once you get clear on what your goal is in each area of your life, you might have a health goal or a fitness goal or a relationship goal or a business goal or all of the above. And then you get clear and you frame it, you phrase it in the language, I am committed to blank, no matter what, there is no other option. And that blank is whatever the outcome you're committed to or the habit that you're committed to. It might be losing 20 pounds. It might be running for 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week. It might be making 100 grand this year. It might be making 40 prospecting calls a day, right? So either it's a achievement goal or a habit goal, but I am committed to blank no matter what, there's no other option. That's step one. Step two is affirm why it is a must for you. Why are you committed? Why is this goal important to you, to others, such as your family, your colleagues, your team, and to the world? How is this going to make a positive impact in the world? Whenever I answer the question, why is this a must for me? It's always to me, to others, my wife, my kids, and to the world. And the third step is affirm which actions you will take and when you will take them. Affirm which actions you will take and when you will take them. So when I was in sales and I wanted to double my income from my best year ever to the year 2005, this was 20 years ago, I made a commitment to double my income. The reason why, it wasn't to earn 100 grand. It wasn't to win the company trip to Cabo San Lucas. It wasn't to win the Rolex. Those were all really, really cool bonuses. My why was to become the person. And by the way, before I say this, this is to me is the universal why for you to make this the best year of your life. It's to become the person that you need to be to achieve everything else you want for your life. So by committing to a goal that stretches you, challenges you, inspires you this year, and giving it everything you have, whether or not you achieve the goal is inconsequential. But if you give it everything you have, then you become the type of person. You develop the qualities and characteristics that will serve you, not just for that one goal, but in everything you do for the rest of your life. The purpose of the goal is to become the person you need to be to achieve every goal you ever set. So those are the 3 steps, James, and looking at that every day in writing. What are you committed to? Why is it a must for you? And which actions will you take to ensure that you follow through? And you read that every day so that you keep it top of mind, and you read it with the kind of passion that I'm talking about right now, with conviction, with energy, with enthusiasm. You don't wait for that. You generate that, and then you follow through with exactly what you affirmed.
To me, I get from these 2 questions, you would end up with immense clarity. Like you were driving down to first of all, what is the thing you're committed to, but then the how does it impact others, yourself and your family, and you're affirming that to them. This is important to me because, and then you get really clear on the actions. Clarity is power, as we say, and so it just seems like that if you can get it super narrow, the likelihood of you achieving it goes up a ton.
Yeah. Well, and yes, and it's keeping it top of mind. It's daily clarity, right? That's where the Miracle Morning, it's like a working out at the gym, but for your mind, body, and soul. The Miracle Morning is, right? It's conditioning your consciousness, not your physical body. But the thing is, you've got to do it consistently day after day. And there was an infomercial in the 90s, I think, and I forgot what it was, some sort of timer thing. And their tagline was, set it and forget it. You might remember that.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, that a lot of people do that with their goals. They set it and they forget it. You do your goal setting at the beginning of the year, and then that maybe it's on a Word document on your computer and you don't ever look at it again. Maybe you check in quarterly. You need to, this for me, I've got all of my goals in this sheet, all my goals, 10 areas of my life. And this is a living document that I look at every single day this year. An affirmation is really a reminder of something that is important to you. So the affirmation formula that I gave you, it's about every single day generating that clarity, right? Not a one-time event, but it's daily clarity to keep you motivated and give you that momentum.
The Miracle Year Roadmap, which you just showed everybody, is what you did with our Inspire members. We had an hour workshop with you on Tuesday. So Inspire members, if you missed it, go into the portal and watch it. And if you're not an Inspire member, get in it and take that hour-long class that Hal did for us. Hal, I think about, again, with it being the beginning of the year and everybody is all wound up and excited about goals, but then, like April shows up.
Yep.
And so we get off track a little bit. If somebody is kind of off track on the things that they thought were important to them at the beginning of the year, but now they're already kind of lagging behind, What's your advice to get back on or to even reevaluate and see if that's still important to you? What advice would you give around those pieces?
If simplifying it into three areas, strategy, so clarity, strategy, and structure. Clarity we just talked about, right?
Yeah.
Strategy is actually what I talked about in terms of it's as simple as revisiting those affirmations every single day and then acting on them. You think about this, it's an integrity game. If you've affirmed what you're committed to in terms of your measurable goals, and you've affirmed why it's a must for you so that you're remembering who this is for, why you're doing this, and you've affirmed the actions that you're committed to taking, well, now it's a matter of as long as you have integrity and you're reading those affirmations every day, the only way to not make this the best year of your life is to be out of integrity. It's to read those and go, yeah, I said I was committed to this, but I'm actually not going to do it. Like that's the only way to fail. But it's easy to do that if you're not keeping those affirmations top of mind. So that's the strategy. I just gave you the strategy. The structure, for me, my favorite form of structure is accountability. Having a form of accountability. We will let ourselves down far more often than we will let someone else down, whether because we want to maintain integrity with that person, we want to stay in a relationship with that person, because we don't want to look bad and we're embarrassed to not follow through. Whatever the reason is, whatever your driving force is, that's why you hire a personal trainer. If there's someone that you paid waiting at the gym for you, you are umpteen times more likely to get in the car and go there than if there was no one there and no one knew that you were supposed to go except for you. So what does that look like in real time? Well, when I committed to have my best year ever, James, and it was doubling my best year ever, 5 years as a Cutco rep, and I was trying to increase my sales total by 100% in 2005. What I did is I reached out to 20 of my colleagues and I said, hey, do you want to go for your best year ever? And I'll host a Sunday call. And we'll talk about our commitments for the week. We'll talk about our goals and we'll hold each other accountable. And James, because I was the one that initiated that group, number one, more people in that group broke the highest level of sales in Cutco in the 6-year history of the company. So accountability works. But guess who was the most accountable person in the group? It was the guy that said, hey, y'all, let's get together and hold each other accountable. What a schmuck I would be if I showed up to the calls of the group that I formed and I didn't follow through. So in one word, that's leverage. And that's the structure that you need, whether it's an accountability buddy one-on-one, whether it's hiring a coach, whether it's connecting with an accountability group in this pivot shift community, whatever it looks like, make sure that you are not a lone wolf this year and that you have the support and accountability of your peers to ensure that you follow through, you have extra leverage, even when you don't feel like it.
It's really smart, and they're putting in the chat too that accountability is leverage for you. We had many examples of that in this community. Tulio, as you heard right when you jumped on, and for those of you that were on our pre-show before we got on Facebook this morning, Tulio was saying invite people to come in and shadow you while you lead generate, and that is your accountability to make sure you're going to lead generate. I think about Bree Vaughn, who led a power hour call in the beginning of the pandemic, and how the way that worked was, she said, if you want to lead generate together, we'll hop on Zoom together, and we'll stay muted, but we're all going to be in our little boxes as we do our calls. And that was her accountability. She had to show up for that. So it's a really, really, really smart thing. Hal, we've just got a couple of minutes left. So if you had 2 minutes to sit down with someone and give them the most impactful advice you could possibly give to help them have their miracle year, what is that?
Yeah, I mentioned that when you set your goals and going through that process of affirming what you're committed to, why it's a must for you, and which actions you're going to take, here's where I would start today. Why is making this the best year of your life? Start with the questions I posed in the affirmation formula, but broader. Why is making this the best year of your life important for you? Why is it important to others, to your family, to the people you love, to the people that you lead? And why is it important to the world? Don't literally sit down, take 5, 10, 30 minutes and really reflect, because our why is what drives us. When I was diagnosed with cancer and given a 20% chance of surviving, I was scared that I was going to leave my kids without a dad. And I realized the fear wasn't serving me, just like many of you have fear around these big, outside the box goals that you might be thinking about, but you're scared to commit. Well, I had no choice but to commit to my goal of living, of beating cancer. So I followed the affirmations formula. Number one, I'm committed to beating cancer and living to be 100 years old. No matter what, there's no other option. But the most important part was the why. And I had written in bullet point form, this is a must for me, for my wife, because I promised her forever and a day, and I plan to keep that promise. For Sophia and Halston, my 7 and 4-year-old, because they deserve to have a dad for the rest of their life, and I want to watch them grow up. For my mom and dad, because they already lost a child when my baby sister Amory died, and they don't deserve to lose another one. I'm committed for myself because, dang it, I deserve to live a long, happy life. And last but not least, I'm committed to beating cancer for the millions of people who are themselves battling cancer or some other disease and may not have been blessed with the knowledge and resources that I have. And it's my responsibility to overcome my cancer to help them on their healing journey. Y'all, that why, those reasons for myself and for the people I care about, that's what drove me when I didn't feel like doing the things that I needed to do to reach my goal, when I was too tired and too sick and too overwhelmed and burnt out. It didn't matter because my why was so strong. So James, that's my advice, is that before you even set your goals, ask yourself, why is this area of my life important to me, to others, and to the world? And why is making this the best year of your life a must for you, a must for the people that you love, and a must for humanity?
It's hard to say no to all of that. Once you get that much clarity around the why, you can't say no. You did that, like I said, that whole hour of the Miracle Year with for our Inspire members. So I dropped the link in the chat. But how can people connect with you, Hal?
Yeah, miraclemorning.com is the hub for everything. Of course, the Miracle Morning book is where all of this started. And this is a new updated and expanded edition that I published last year. It's got 70 more pages. And the Miracle Morning app is your little accountability buddy to actually do the Miracle Morning and check your savers off. It's got 4.9 out of 5 stars in the App Store and the Google Play Store. It's very popular. And you can try it free, download it for free.
I'm dropping the link for the book in the chat one more time, too, just for anybody who might be interested in that. Hal, I appreciate you so much. It's the second time you've been on the call. You reached out and said you wanted to jump on with us, and I just appreciate you pouring into our community this year. Best of luck to you as well. I know you've got big goals for this year, too. So thank you so much for spending time with us. I appreciate you.
Appreciate all of you. Love you in the Pivot Shift community. Thank you, James. I'll see you next time.
You got it. Everybody, thanks for being here. You got your inspiration. Definitely. Go put in the perspiration. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Al. Thanks,